The woman immediately realized that her husband, who was lying in the coffin, was only pretending to be dead. So to expose him, she deliberately acted heartbroken and started hitting his wounds loudly. But despite enduring so much pain, her greedy husband didn't make a sound. So the wife began slapping his face forcefully. Seeing all this, her mother-in-law, who was standing nearby, panicked. She thought that if her daughter-in-law continued to torture her son like this, then her son would actually die. So she immediately signaled her servant to stop her. But before the servant could stop her, the girl directly pulled out a knife and, without any hesitation, attacked her husband. In reality, this woman was a reborn person. In her previous life, she was a royal princess who was married off to a deceitful man. However, right after the wedding, her husband was called to war. 6 years later, when the army returned, news arrived that her husband had died in battle. Hearing this news, the girl was completely broken and spent her entire life in the name of that man. But she never knew that her husband was actually alive and had only faked his death so he could leave her and live with his lover. He even had a son. Yet, despite all this, her greedy mother-in-law was not satisfied. She made a plan. She gave the woman her grandson, calling him an adopted child so that she would raise him with love, and later, all her property would belong to this boy. But unaware of all this, the girl raised the child with all her heart for 20 years. But when the boy grew up, he started showing his true colors. First, he killed the girl's family, and then he also poisoned the girl. However, before dying, the girl came to know the whole truth, how her husband had only pretended to be dead so that he could take her property and remove her from his path. Knowing this, the girl was completely broken and started shouting at the man. But before she could do anything, they killed her, and then they set the house on fire so that no one would suspect them. But before dying, the girl vowed that if she got one more chance, she would destroy her husband. And as soon as she said this, time went 20 years back, and she opened her eyes exactly on the same day when her husband was about to pretend to be dead. So this time, the girl decides that she will not fall into her husband's trap like before and will punish him for his deeds. Now, what will happen next? To find out, like this video.